out for prison, brother bitten in his cell. Hey. Confine us all to the ghetto, say we're living right in hell. Hey. Underfunded schools, underfed, underprivileged. Hey. But we the same dirty little niggas that to build the pyramids. Hey. Grind on your face when you see my hat cocked sideways. Hey. Working 9 to 5, full of job, but we can't get a raise. Hey. Minimum wage ain't enough to satisfy a king. Hey. I'm kind, Mansa Musa back in Mali where it bling bling. Hey. Politicians never listen, all they do is wanna talk. Hey. Shut your face, pick a place in the hood, take a walk. Hey. Crucify me for my big lips, shit, God give me those. Hey. Going through the cracks in the concrete, I'm a black bra. Hey. Get some loving from a black woman, you would never go back. Hey. Old black woman looking like a teen black, don't crack. Hey. Sitting on the banks of the Nile, writing hieroglyphic rhymes. Hey. Spirits in the wind, talking to you, hear them in the wind. I said, black man, be strong, cause you've been down so long, gotta shine your light. A black woman's love is a glory to all, gotta shine your light. This light of mine, this light of mine, this light of mine, this light of mine. Feeling like a Marcus Garvey back in Harlem on the stage. Rep the colors red, black, and green, yeah, let my flag raise. Feeling like a panther talking to the pigs for my black rage. Revolutionary picture, brother Malcolm with a 12 gauge. Child of the sun, living on the run, hand on the gun, tired of being shunned. Look at where I'm from, victim of the world, look at what it done. Left me for dead, left me with plagues. Took away my bread, hear voices in my head. I say, hola do my red. Take away my pain, a whole batala. Take away these chains, oh yeah me ya. Please do the same, oh Shum Shango. Bring the thunder and rain, hola do my red. Take away my pain, no batala. Take away these chains, oh yeah me ya. Please do the same, oh Shum Shango. Bring the thunder and rain. I say black man be strong, cause you've been down so long, gotta shine your light. A black woman's love is a glory to all, gotta shine your light. This light of mine, this light of mine, this light of mine, this light of mine.
Peace and infinite blessings, family. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Everything good? All right, yep. Cool. That's the technical difficulties. So peace and infinite blessings, family. Welcome to the journey to be Ma'at, where you come and get your weekly dose. Whoa, bi-weekly dose now. Bi-weekly dose of personal growth from a Pan-African perspective. I am Farugh Ma'at, one of the dynamic hosts on this majestic movement and platform, and you are?
Hi, I'm Nefertiti Waters, the daughter of Farugh Ma'at.
Yes.
Ah, there you go.
Peace and blessings, brother. And you are right on time. Perfect timing.
Peace, y'all. Greetings, Neffy.
Hi.
Hey.
And you are?
Kamua Heru. Kamua Heru. Founding member of the Urban Shamans Band and Productions.
All right, Shay. There we go. Perfect introduction. I appreciate that. This part of this program, we pour verbal libations for the hundreds of millions known and unknown who sacrifice turning obstacles into opportunities, who strategize so we can be who we are and do what we do with a little less stress. We ask that you come and radiate your wisdom and courage on us in this space as we continue your works. This opportunity I want to give to my stepfather, A.O. Davis. His birthday was earlier this month, And I am the man that I am today based off his contribution. And you know, I just want to give him a shout out, man. You know, he stepped up. You know, he stepped up, and I appreciate him. I guess we'll go with you. Who you got, brother?
Well, I want to give honor and respect to the sister Ayimbe. She recently made transition. And you know, sister that I got a chance to know, during the pandemic. But the sister she just really embraced the culture. You know what I'm saying? She really loved the drums. She reciprocated her appreciation and love for what our community gave her. And so she was always trying to incorporate elements of what this was in her spaces. So I wanted to give a verbal libations to that queen.
I say. Neff.
I was going to say this person last week, but I wanted to make an announcement of the Black Wall Street. So I wanted to, for those who don't know, we recently lost Tito Jackson. He was definitely a big part of the music that I grew up on, that my dad and our families grew up on. So want to give shout outs to him too.
That's dope. Good. Yeah. You know how I feel about that era of music.
Yeah, that's how I seen your reaction. She was like, Tito Jackson, Dad? I was like, yeah.
Yeah. So this show is dedicated to y'all, and like I said, the millions known and unknown. This show is dedicated to y'all. Black Wall Street is huge, because we would definitely be talking about finances today, and what that looks like. I mean, and so this episode is entitled "Can Black Wealth Culture Be Achieved Individually and Collectively?" And when you hear the term, let's just get right into it. When you hear the term Black Wealth Culture, what do you think of?
I feel like there's different meanings. Black people have their own meanings, but I feel like culture-wise, I feel like everyone, there's like a community-wise, there's a community wealth, there's community wealth, strength, working together, just able to share, and not everyone is being so worried about me, or so focused on themselves.
Okay. More?
Black wealth culture. I mean, when I think about the abundance in which our culture has provided the world. I think about our contributions in America. The richness that we provided the society, from every element of which we express ourselves from a cultural standpoint, and how we make this society so vibrant. I was just watching a documentary on Basquiat, and I was like, yo, this brother really transformed the dynamic of contemporary or modern graphic arts. From the 80s all the way until now. He had a tremendous impact on what that was. And so for me, that's just an example of Black wealth culture, and if anybody know of Basquiat, we know that this brother is sort of like a Picasso of Black American culture in terms of artists. And yeah, so And just on that.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. For me, and that's why I was asking, like, the individual, like, what it means to you when you hear the term Black wealth culture. For me, it just reigns freedom. Like, it just reigns independence. It just reigns the ability to just do for self and be for self. And yeah, and so I think when we talk about, for me, when we talk about Black wealth culture, we have to add the wealth literacy to the culture, right? A lot of times that's like a separate conversation, or it's not a conversation at all. And this is why I want to take the opportunity to just have this conversation and expand on the conversation. That it should be a conversation that's had monthly, weekly, daily, when we talk about building our legacy and we talk about what generational wealth. This is not something that we can just cross our fingers and hope to come past. It's kind of something that we have to work diligently to make happen, because there's so many vices for us not to have it, right? There's so many vices to extract that wealth from us. And so we have to be a little bit more intentional, a little bit more diligent about keeping our power. So, Black dollars is Black power, and I don't think we don't look at it that way. And I think that's the issue, because every other nationality look at it that way. Yeah, I mean, they're very conscious about what they spend their money and who they spend their money with and where that money goes. And so, I just want to have that conversation. And I really was interested in having that conversation. And we're gonna have that conversation with DJ Weezy sooner or later. We're gonna have it, because it's the time. It's past this time. But for me personally, this is the time. Like, I've never been so focused. I've never been so intentional about my money. I've never been so about my finances. I've never been so aware about where my money is going, and so purposeful about every dollar that crosses my path. What duty I'm assigning those dollars. I mean, it used to be so carefree and just, just whatever happens. But through this past year, I've been very intentional, and I just want to have this conversation. I'm going to surround myself with cats that's individuals, not cats, but I want to surround myself with individuals that's on that same path and on that same energy. So we can just kind of share and educate one another about, the Black wealth culture, or establishing Black wealth culture, or nurturing Black wealth culture. Like, I want our desire for that to be the new hashtag, and we just going to town with Black wealth culture. Like, just be super intentional about it. So yeah. So, Knowledge Born came with some very impactful questions. And the first question is, which is the title of the show: do you think Black wealth culture could be created individually and collectively? Do you think that's possible?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think that it should be a individual and collective, achievement. I think that in order for one to, galvanize the community and collective, I think that we would have to demonstrate, improve ourselves first of all, that we are capable of achieving Black wealth, or just a state of wealth, a mindset of wealth.
Mm-hmm.
I think that, as you said, surrounding yourself with individuals, we surround ourselves with, things that are in our mind. And so, we surround ourselves with individuals who reflect thoughts and opinions, or aspects of ourselves that we see in ourselves. And so, that sort of expression should be, achieved primarily individually. And then, we begin to start connecting with others. And I think that, when it's done in that way, the potential is greater.
Mm-hmm.
The potential is, much, much greater, because everybody is an anchor. Everybody is a source of, is a resource and a source of dependency or reliability. So, so yeah, absolutely.
Great answer. Great
Yeah,
answer.
I would definitely agree. Because once I feel like the independent part comes first, because once you have that what's the word I'm looking for? Once you have that security of, or knowledge of whatever it may be, like if you have like your own way of doing things, and then another person has their way of doing things, and it works for you, you could also share that knowledge that you gained from however you do your stuff, and however another person might do their things, or however they feel comfortable, or whatever the case may be, in doing their finances or whatever. And y'all could sit there and like have a whole conversation or a meeting or whatever the case may be, and just brainstorm ideas or different methods that you use or you think could help other people, or you could use community wise for bigger funds, or, well, whatever the case may be. But I definitely feel like it's capable if you have the right mindset and discipline for it. Because if you want to do it, but you don't have the discipline to do it, or you don't have the mindset to do it, then it might not work the way you want it to. So that is also, I would say that plays a part in it as well.
Yep.
I like that. I like that. So all right. So my thought when that question was posed to me, that question is so loaded, right? Because it depends on the person. It depends on what the person's definition of wealth is, right? If they just talk about from the material realm, I guess it still can be, but from I always attach wealth. When you talk about wealth, I attach wealth to families, right? So it's like, I guess it's a challenge for me to see the individual being wealth, right? Because a lot of the systems that's set up by families, right? It's like a lot of the corporations, a lot of things like that. I guess it was set up by the individual and empowered by the family. I guess, yeah. I guess that's the challenging part for me, right? Because it's like, but yeah, it can be individually, and then it's backed by family, or I mean, like backed by the collective. What do you think?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I think that they can be. Look, it can work, in inverse as well, individually or collective individually. It's just depend on what your angle and your position of achieving it, or how you've been influenced. You can be influenced by a collective in the process of, like, you know, Nephi said, discipline, self-discipline and organization can come into play, you know, with a collective, you know. And I mean, even furthermore, I don't think that one can exist without the other. Let's say that. But I don't think one can exist without the other. I think that, like you said, when you begin to start defining wealth, you know, and it's interesting, you know, because as you were speaking, and when you begin to start defining wealth, and I'm like, yeah, you know, from the beginning, you know, I just know my definition of wealth is a little bit, you know what I'm saying, it is from a non-material place. You know what I mean? And so I think that that's the basis in which success, you know, every form of success for me was derived from, you know. And so anyway, and you were answering the question, so let you finish.
No, it's cool, because like I said, because then I turn the question back to y'all, because like I don't have like a definitive answer. You know what I'm saying? It's like, as I said, for me, it was so loaded because it was just like you said, I guess it's like one can exist without the other. And I think that's a great point. So yeah, so I didn't get a chance, you know, I'm really like, I get in my mind, I start going deeper and deeper. I go down
let's just talk about it.
Yeah, so I go down that rabbit hole and I'm just like, you know, but I think for the sake of time, I think you brought up a really good point when you were saying that that one can't exist without the other. Yeah, and that put my mind at ease, right? Because it was just like, I'm trying to say, all right, if a person established a certain amount of richness or money, is that person in itself just wealthy, just based off the money? You know what I mean? Like, I mean, so, and then it's like, what are those things attached to? Because at one point, and who defines that, right? Because like we think about Michael Jackson, and Michael Jackson was so wealthy until they pissed the wrong person off, right? And so those things could be taken away from you like this, right? If you don't have it structured in the right way, right? So it's just like, you know, I guess it's part of structure too, right? I guess it's part of structure too, because if you structure it the right way, no matter what the hell happens to an individual, you still can't touch it because the individual is set up in such a way to where it's not attached to him. So I guess the more we had this conversation, stuff started popping up like, oh yeah, okay, the strategy / yeah, you know what I mean? Like, so yeah, this is great. Then this is why I think it's important to have these discussions, because and I think it's great to have it in a group setting like this, in a platform like this, because everybody can chime in, right? And it's just like the question might be presented, but the answers or the expansion of the dialogue could go on forever, right? Yeah. And everybody can add to it, right? And so I think, you know, the more information we get, they say many hands make light work. So I'm open to learning. I'm like super open to this topic, because I see how important it is. And I never thought about how important it was before, prior to, I could say, this year, right? I thought money was important, you know, but it was like, you know, as long as I have what I need, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't thinking about, I mean, of course I thought about the children, I mean, because that's why I got insurance policies and got into real estate and stuff like that, because of the children. But I didn't realize how much it impacted on my relationships. Right? I didn't realize that until like in the last 2 years. You know what I'm saying? And I was talking to some brothers about it, And I definitely was sharing with them that they really need to focus on being on a purpose. Really focus on being in purpose, whatever that is, and not worry about so much as relationships and worry about women, girls, and stuff like that, because that stuff will come. And I never had that kind of conversation. I mean, I never had that conversation. And so I desired the attention and affection of a woman. And I put that before my purpose. I put that before a lot of things. And, you know, well, let's not get on off the topic of that. But I just realized how important it is, though. How important it is, your purpose and your finances is, and how much it can impact your life and your lifestyle and your decisions. Yeah, I mean, it's so important. It's so important. I wanted to talk about our purchasing power. And they say on the books our purchasing power is at $1.6 trillion annually. That's on the books. That's not even counting what we spend on the black market and the fake Gucci sneakers and all that stuff. That don't even count the bootlegs and all that stuff. That don't even count that. So maybe counting that, we'd probably be sitting at $2 trillion easily if we was to count that. Right. So it was somebody did a breakdown on studies on the breakdown of that, right? They say in the fast food industry, they track our money. What do we do with our money? How can we be the poorest, richest people on the planet? Right? African Americans. They talk about us as a collective across the board. They tell us African Americans spends $1.6 trillion a year in purchasing power. All right, so and they talk about the not the necessities, right? Not like house, food, clothing, and shelter, right? They talk about like the things that's not what's the word what I'm looking for? I ain't gonna say, should I say non-essentials? Because I guess it's the essentials and the non-essentials, right?
Yeah,
like
I would say non-essential. Yeah.
Okay, so non-essentials, right?
That we might get might not be like. I feel like some of the things might be like essential, like not really essential. Like some people might consider them essentials, but not necessarily.
Yeah. So so let me just read off what they said. They say 4.5. We spend as a people. We spend $4.5 billion on fast food. A year. They say that we spend $15 billion on automobiles a year. They say we spend $10 billion a year on cell phone and internet services. They say we spend $2 billion a year on entertainment. They say we spend $20 billion on luxury items, like the Gucci's and the Fendi's and Louis Vuitton. They say we are the biggest consumers of luxury items. And then it goes into gym memberships, home ownerships. They only have like numbers as far as our home ownerships because a lot of us are renting.
Well, let's take a look at. Are you finished?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Those are the big numbers. Everything else is just small.
Okay. Well, first of all, a lot of what you described is a part of American culture in general. Okay. And so, as enormous or the numbers may seem, if we compare it to our counterparts, those numbers are greater. Now the difference is that in this culture, this American culture, and this system of capitalism, what piece do we what piece do we hold in that? And so the shared benefit of those numbers, it doesn't spread around. You know what I mean? So those numbers would be tremendously beneficial if we maintain ownership in terms of stock and merchandise and all of those sectors. Then those numbers, what you will see is a different society. In most of the societies that we exist or live in, it will reflect our how we receive or how we benefit from those numbers. Now, when I think about those numbers, I know that those numbers, I'm not surprised. I understand American culture. I mean, not just Black American, anybody who become raised second generation, third generation in America become a part of consumerism in terms of American culture. So the thing is that it's when we look at those numbers, we got to look at the layers of systems that are in place, right? One, the first, is the programming in which we receive our education, our formal education. We could just start with the education of our family, and like you said, individual versus collective. What programs has been put in place within the family, in each individual family. And then we begin to start, thinking about how do we participate as a collective, in this American society. Now, then the whole issue of, disparities, comes in place, because it is a very disparaging, contrast in terms of American culture. Now, if we begin to, so then we have to look at it totally different. And it ultimately comes back down to really, reprogramming ourselves and practicing a different way and how we operate within the American culture. Now, are we shared consumers? Because that's what the numbers is kind of reflecting, that we are primary consumers, and I mean, everybody is consuming, but are we, are producers, or owners in this society? And that's what we need to get at. You know what I mean? Because, you started off when you said, Black wealth culture, and I'm thinking about Black wealth culture is significant. It is significant. It is, what I think about the nobility. I think about, our genius. I think about our creativity. I think about, all of the things that we, produce in a society that, like, everybody wants to participate with, in this society, every aspect of, to the fashion, to the style, to the dress, to the walk, to the talk, to the hairstyle, everybody want to part, and we contribute so much to this culture, but at the same time, what are, we just, in terms of producing the culture, we do produce culture. We are the progenitors of culture, but in return, what are we, receiving, and immaterial, because, we know, all three of us, we have an inkling of the world, the worth, what we are worth. But now, how do that transfer into material? How it's transfer into ownership? How it transfers into money? And what I'm saying, and legacy. So, so when I think about those numbers, a lot of times, when I think about those numbers, sometimes it's very discouraging. But then I say, nah, those are some powerful numbers. Those are some powerful numbers. Now, how do we begin to start looking at that, and how do we allow those numbers to empower ourselves? Mm-hmm. So that's it. That's what I'm gonna say right now.
I wanted to touch on the layers part of that you said. I definitely feel like a part of a lot of the money that is being spent in certain areas is also part of mindset, I guess you could say. Because everybody knows fast food is just convenient. So nights that you don't feel like cooking, easy right there. And depending on the area that you're in, fast food is everywhere. So it becomes easier and faster to consume than it is for up here. Like up here, we just happen to have a Burger King around right across the street. But then all the other fast food spots you literally would have to drive to. Meanwhile, in other areas, there's a Crown's Chicken here, there's a McDonald's here, there's a Wendy's here, there's Popeyes over here. It's you're surrounded by it, so it's easier to consume than it is for than for other things. And as far as the luxury part, I would have to say like part of that would be the fact that it's just like some people would like to buy stuff and be like, just to show that they have money, be like, oh yeah, I want to buy this car, just to be like, oh yeah, I have money, or whatever the case may be. Because there was a point in time where my sisters were like absolutely obsessed with these Darman videos, and some of them actually weren't that bad. There was this
what kind of videos? What kind of videos?
Darman. It's like it's DHARRMANN, I think it is. He's like it's this guy Darman. That's whatever they call him.
I think my students were talking about it. Go ahead.
Yeah. There's this one video where they were talking about not judging like a book by its character, and then they were in a shoe store, and this one lady came in, she was dressed in like just like normal clothes, streetwear clothes, I guess you could call them, just sweatpants, a shirt, sneakers, and she was dressed like that. And one of the stuck up counter people didn't want to help her because it's just like, oh, she dresses like this, so she obviously doesn't have any money. So then the lady came in with she came in with this big old Gucci bag, pantsuit, heels, hair done, nails, everything was done. And then when they went to go, so she just assumed, oh yeah, she'll afford them. She went to go buy the shoes, and her card declined. And so then she was like, oh, well, would I be able to take a picture and post it on Instagram just to make it look like I have money? And I feel like that's also might be a part of it, just to be like, because sometimes they do have it, and they just want to show that they have it, and sometimes they don't, but they want to make it seem like they do, whether it's real life or on social media. So depending on how you look at certain things, the numbers do make sense on why they're so big. Now, like Uncle Kamua said, if we could take those numbers and turn them into something more beneficial, as for example, like there was this new black owned canned food black owned canned food business. It's a black owned family farm, everything, and they're producing new canned foods, organic, no preservatives, nothing, canned foods. Like it's like 4 ingredient canned foods. And like if we could start buying into more stuff like that, or like investing, buying in, or just even buying to put on ourselves at home, then we would start to see those numbers go down in certain areas and go up in more beneficial areas, and be spending the more money on ourselves or our community rather than spending it on stuff that they make in China or whatever the case may be, ship over here and put $1,000 price tag on it. It's just, you spending a lot more money on stuff than it's actually worth, just to say that you have it. So it's definitely a layers thing.
And I want to share another. I know Farugh, you ready to jump in there? Go ahead. I want to hear from you.
Oh no, I mean, like I said, I just want to have the conversation. But yeah, to me, these numbers screams lack of culture, lack of self-love, lack of self-awareness, self-appreciation. You know, a lot of these numbers I look at is look at me. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at me. Like, I didn't even go talk about the beauty industry. They didn't have a disclosed number on the beauty industry, but they say we spend 9 times more in the beauty industry than any other race, period. And that all goes to, for me, everything goes back into enslavement, where, you know, you was taught that you was less than, you was taught that you was subhuman, and so you need these items to make you feel like you're somebody. You know what I mean? So your self-esteem, your identity is attached to a Louis Vuitton. Your self-appreciation is attached to a Nike. Because if you don't have Nike Jordans on, then you feel like you're not nothing, that nobody will see you, and that nobody will value you. So, yeah, so I agree with everything that y'all was saying. So you go ahead, Bill, brother. So I don't have much to add on to what you already said.
Yeah, one of the things that I remember one time, my sister, we was having these same wealth conversations, and, you know, strategies of, business strategies, and, you know, she shared with me, you know, fast food franchise ownership, you know, and she did, you know, the numbers. And I think about, you know, I mean, I worked I think I never really worked in a fast food store, but I definitely worked at Wawa. I worked there when I was a teenager. I worked there from 16 to 18, you know, then I worked at Save a Lot, you know, and, but, you know, I enjoyed, you know, working in customer service, and, you know, I'm a people person, you know, so that wasn't a problem. Even I appreciate, you know, the training that I got in that field. So I do, and, you know, in comparison, I do understand what those franchise, you know, how they operate, you know. And she was like, why don't we just start a Chick-fil-A franchise? And she came up with the numbers. You wouldn't believe what it costs to, you know, to start one of those businesses. It doesn't cost a lot, but the amount of money that you can.
Where's the price tag?
This was a couple years ago, man. It wasn't beyond my reach. It wasn't a lot, you know, and I can't remember the numbers per se, but I remember it was like, that's it. You know, that was it was like, that's it, you know, to start a franchise, you know. Of course, you know, you're getting the franchise kit and everything like that, but at the end of the day, you know, you are getting a tremendous percentage of, you know, profit from running that. And I said, man, you know, how many times, you know, how many of our people have worked at these fast foods restaurants? You know, we probably all touched, you know, working at these fast food restaurants, and you know, when we do things excellent. We are some of the hardest working people. I'm trying to tell you, I know I am. You know, when I get involved in something, I give it 100%. You know what I mean? I just don't know. I don't even know how to not do that. You know what I mean? I don't know how not to, show up for a job and just be like, yeah, I'm here. So, that's just me. And I know a lot of people are like that, so, but when I did hear those numbers, and, I could go back and cross-reference the numbers. I'm sure they're not so far off from what they were when we talked about a few years ago. And I was just like, what? That's it? And she's like, yeah. And I was just really surprised that my sister did all the math, She's like, we should just open up a, Chick-fil-A franchise. I was like, I actually like Chick-fil-A. I actually like, the food, and so the point I'm making is that, and I agree with you, Farugh. Here it is that, we'll participate, as consumers, but we won't participate in producers or owners, even managers. I know some people who have worked in these, I was just talking to a friend, and she works at a department store, and she was like, they offered me the manager position. And she's like, but, it was just for a few months. She's younger. And I said, well, why don't you just, she didn't want the responsibility. I said, I get it. You don't want the responsibility. I said, but that's training. You understand? If you took that position for just 6 months, you will have a better insight of the operation of that business. Now, you could take that 6 months of, a little extra workload, but you could take it at school. Take that skill, and then you can leave that job and apply for another managerial skill, and any other it can transfer, right? Now, if you could manage a company, you could run a company, but sometimes we kind of sit in, entry level positions because, like you said, I mean, a lot of it is fear, self-doubt, we doubt it. And I've been victim of that. Don't get me wrong. I'm not sitting on this, pedestal as if, we all have these, have dealt at some point in time, and we confronted those or are confronting those things. But like I said, I just think that the programming, in which we receive our initial programming, from the cradle, the environments that we've, and I mean, a lot of it is, a lot of it, unfortunately, is unconscious, unconscious behavior that we participate. But, and we can recognize that. So, I tend to recognize, I see that with my own family. I see that even in my, and when I see this pattern existing, we have these conversations for real, or, we get around individuals who can, who can then be a reflection of something greater than what you can perceive. Going back to what you said, surrounding yourself with individuals, that can fortify, strengthen, or reflect, who you really truly are. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's deep. Yeah, the numbers. Yeah, it's we
and go ahead.
Yeah, we just got to do. But I can't. I'm lost words. So you go ahead. Go ahead.
No, yeah, and I know I can trust me, bro. I know it's kind of mind blowing, and it's daunting. You know what I'm saying? It's very daunting. But I just our education system, as I'm working in schools, there's nothing within our education. Go ahead. You want to say something, Neffy?
I wanted to touch on the beauty industry. So, and like the self-image that Dad was talking about. I wanted to, when when he turns his camera back on, I wanted to ask him if it was okay to share the story that he shared with me and Uncle when he was kids. Um, about how like the basically the whole image thing with that you went through with your grandma. So basically, when my dad was a kid, um, my grandma, well, his grandma, my great grandma, um, she used to like pinch his nose, like to try to like make it smaller and uh something with his lips and just like mess with like his facial features and stuff like that. Um, and for like he could be more specific about it, but it kind of like messed with his like self-confidence and how he looked and how he felt about himself. And then he had to get, when he got older, he understood why she did it, and he had to also find that self appreciation and self-love for himself and his appearance and his skin and all of those other things. But some people never grew out of it. Luckily he did, and he rubbed it off on us. Cause one thing, like, I might have my little insecurities here and there, but one thing I will never say is like I don't like my hair, or like, yeah, sometimes it's like frizzy, but I'll never be like, oh, I hate my hair or my skin or my facial features or whatever the case may be. Only thing I've ever said about my face was it breaking out. But besides that, so I'm grateful for the fact that he was able to grow out of that and find that self appreciation and show and teach it to us. Cause a part of that beauty industry being so high is the fact that a lot of women are now getting BBLs. A lot of women are now buying pounds and pounds of makeup, uh, pounds of makeup, false lashes, prosthetics, a lot of physically altering things that end up being detrimental to their lifespan, that they don't even realize till they're older and they can't do anything about it. Um, like for example, like foundation. Like me personally, I've never been a big fan of makeup. Um, I have a bottle of foundation that one of Dad's friends bought me for prom, and I've only used it twice, and that was for prom, and I think no, it was only once actually. That was for prom, and it's just been sitting. It's been sitting in my cabinet ever, ever since. Because I don't. It's for me personally. It feels like face paint, and it feels like I'm hiding behind a mask. Um, that's just me personally, though. But some people find comfort in makeup and stuff like that. So if you do find comfort, or whatever may case may be, or you feel like you're trying to hide your insecurities or whatever the case may be, there's nothing wrong with that. But I would definitely, and I'm not hating on it, or I'm not trying to make you feel bad or anything. So I don't want y'all to feel like I am. But I would definitely try to look into the products that y'all are using and what they're made out of and how they could be affecting your skin, or um getting into your skin, how your skin absorbs, because your skin absorbs everything. um your skin is very absorbent, so whatever you might be putting on your face or on your skin, or whatever the case may be, your skin can absorb it and it can put it into your bloodstream, and it can be very detrimental. So I would urge for y'all to look into the stuff that y'all are buying. If y'all really do feel like y'all need to um cover up whatever it may be, then I would try to suggest some type of alternative, because half the time a lot of people will try to cover up breakouts or whatever the case may be with makeup, and makeup can be the leading cause for those breakouts, and it's just a repeating cycle. So now you're just buying more makeup and more makeup and more makeup, and just causing everything to be worse. um so I would definitely like to say that insecurities and self love and acknowledgement definitely plays a big part of the beauty industry, and why ours is so high. Because it's years of miseducation, of influence on how we look or how we're supposed to look or the perfect body shape that you should have, or if you don't look like this, then you're not beautiful, or if you don't have this shape, then you're not beautiful, or it's just a whole lot of beauty standards that I personally think are ridiculous, but a lot of people live by them. So it's definitely plays a big part in that. Because even the salon that I work at, people pay hundreds of dollars daily just to look a certain way. So I don't know, but um, yeah, it's a lot that goes into that. But I'm gonna just for time wise, I'm gonna just stop there. But there's definitely a deeper reason on why our numbers are so high than people realize.
Yeah, I think that you touched it. That's what I see. Most of all, we never really the trauma drives a lot of things that we do. Um, un, um, Unhealed trauma, the undiagnosed trauma, um, is the gear, is the fuel behind a lot of things that we do, consciously and unconsciously. And so I think once we deal with the cultural standpoint, deal with the culture and deal with ourselves, those two things is, I think there are the 90%. They would cure or reverse 90% of our troubles. You know what I mean? Because we become self-defining people. And once we become self-defining people, then we're not heavily influenced by somebody else's narratives or somebody else's standards, right? We choose our own standards. We choose our own values. We choose our own narratives. We create and write our own narratives, right? And so that's why I'm a really big pusher of culture, really big pusher of culture, and getting to know yourself, because for me those two things are everything. Right? I think like I said, I think that's the answer to 90% of our issues, if not more. I think I'm being generous by saying 90%, right? Because that deals with our mindset, that deals with our perspectives, that deals with what we eat, what we drink, what we value. Our daily decisions based off our cultural ignorance, or based off our cultural ignorance, and so and our ignorance is a multi-trillion-dollar industry, and they know that, and so that's why they try to keep us ignorant. So that's like, that's why I said I really love this platform, because this is giving us the opportunity to contribute to presenting an alternative, right? And it gives us the opportunity to present things from our perspective, right? And give people hope, that once they hear a little piece of something, maybe that'll spark something in their DNA to go research further and do more research for themselves, and then, come out of the matrix, right? And so that's all we try to do, y'all. We're not saying that we know all the answers. We're not saying that, listen to what it is that we're saying. We're just saying, listen, this is our experience. And since you are African, right, maybe you could give this a chance and see how that works for you. Because you see what the other stuff that you're doing is it working for you, or if it's working for you, then good. If it's not working for you, here's an alternative to look at. Time check, Neff.
103.
Who?
803.
I was like, this must be a new
damn, we've been talking that long?
No. 803.
All right, so let's do, I do want to get into some practical things that we can do to change the picture that we painted, right? You want to spend some time to say, all right, this is our reality. And then you want to spend equal or greater amount of time on solutions, right? And things we can do to kind of change that or impact that or reverse it. You know what I mean? Have a solution-based conversation, right?
Okay.
So if we talking about practice economic self-love, right? How would we go about practicing economic self-love?
Mm-hmm. Economic self-love. I like that. I like that. One way is, you can, if you don't have a savings, start a savings. Start a savings. I think that's like, and really be committed to it being a savings. And in time, you will feel good when you start to see that savings start to grow. Yeah.
I like that.
Right
Yeah,
there.
we talked about that last week. We talked about as far as like having the savings, the emergency fund, how important it is and how instrumental it is to building wealth, right? It's extremely important. And I didn't realize how important it was until I went through it myself. Me having that emergency savings, and even if it was just $1,000, but the fact that when the emergency came up, it wasn't as much of an emergency, right? Because it was just like, all right, I could just pull from that, and it didn't detract me from what it was that I was trying to achieve, right? So if I'm my goal was to be debt free in 5 years, and so I'm able to pay down my debts and stuff like that. And then when the emergency happens, I didn't have to take out an extra credit card. I didn't have to take away from my plan. I just like pull away from the savings, put that there, and that kept going with my debt pay down. So huge tip. I appreciate that. Savings is huge. Neff, what you got?
I would definitely try to say tracking of what you're spending or what you're spending it on. Cause there was a point in time where I was spending, like when I first got my job, I was like, what? I got my own money. I can spend it on whatever I want. I was like 16. I was spending it on food majority. majority of it was food. I'm a big foodie. So majority of it was food, and uh it would have been like food or clothes, but like I don't really change wise, like weight wise or size wise. So I could have like the same hoodie for like 3 years. It's like it's I guess it's like a genetic thing because my dad be having hoodies from like 15, 20 years ago, and they still fit him like the first day he bought them. So um yeah, I don't really vary too much. So it was definitely either food or clothes. And then one day my dad called me the DoorDash queen. So I started being very I started trying to be very subconscious of how much I was spending. Cause once I looked at it, I was like, yeah, this is this is a lot. This is a lot. Cause I'm not a big going out of the house person. Like there's times where like I really do be wanting to go out the house and be around people, and then by the time I get there and I do it for like a certain amount of time, I'm like, okay, I want to go home. Like I'm ready to go home and chill on my couch and either do some work or sleep. So definitely try to keep track of what you're spending or how much you're trying to spend on this one thing. I feel like that definitely goes into the budgeting thing that we were talking about last week. So while I was at work on when was the last time I was at work besides today? It was Sunday. So yesterday, yesterday. So while I was at work yesterday, I did this like budgeting thing for because I have two jobs, so I get paid weekly from one job and I get paid bi-weekly from the other. So while I was at work, I did my paycheck from September 28th, and I didn't work like the same amount of hours that I normally do, so wasn't as big as I wanted it to be, but that's besides the point. So I did like my income, which was like $511, and then I did the expenses. I know y'all can't really read it, but this is the list of expenses, and then it's like $80 to get back and forth to work for 2 days. Yes, it's ridiculous, but It'll be worth it in the end. I keep telling myself that. And then $50 to $60 for dinner nights, and then $48 for this Six Flag ticket that I'm about to get. But so the total for that, that's just like small things. So the total of that was 178. Subtract that from the 511, which was $330 left, $33 left, and then I put some of that in savings. I try to add the minimum at least $30 to $40 into my savings from every other paycheck, depending on how big it is. Sometimes even more. But so that left me with 303 just in general cost. Like if I wanted to add more into my savings, or if I wanted to go buy something nice for myself, or go to the mall, or even go to the movies, whatever. I still had the stuff that I needed to take care of, taken care of, and then I had money left over, money in my savings, added to my savings. I'm probably gonna add more because I still feel like I have a lot of money left. So, and then I did the next one, which would be October 12th. So that one would be at least at the minimum $400. So I took all the money for dinner nights to get to work, and I took half of my phone bill out of that one, and then savings and all that stuff. So you have the total for that, and then you have what's left. So it helps me keep track of what I'm spending and how much I'm spending and how much I have left, so I can try to keep down on whatever the case may be, and then have like a separate area for your goals or what you're trying to save towards. Like if you want to save towards something, I would suggest that you have two different separate savings accounts. One for like savings for like emergencies, or you could just have it for savings in general, and then a separate account for your goal of whatever the case may be. Like if you have to buy something that's $500, put money into that account, and then the separate savings account that is only savings, only touch it for emergencies. So that's just my method. If y'all want to use that method, then that's fine. That could work for y'all as well. Hopefully it does, but yeah. It helped me a lot. So yeah, that's just that's that's whatever. I don't really know.
Yeah, it's funny because go ahead, Farugh.
Yeah, I didn't know she's going to a budget class.
I mean, no, because remember at the end of the last one, I was saying that I was kind of trying to say what I normally would do, but then I was, what, never mind, I'll just have a paper, or I'll just be able to physically show y'all next time. So
okay,
there you go.
All right. Would you get take more?
No, I mean she went right to it because I pulled up my budget. I was just like, yeah. It's so funny. We were on the same wavelength, and I'm glad that you did it because I've been meaning to work my budget. Things has changed in my world, and it's just a matter of reworking it and reassessing and prioritizing when I have to prioritize. It's this is reworking it, and so it's funny that, and I've been meaning to pull it because I got it on Google Sheets is a digital budget.
That's also a good way to do it as well.
Yeah, so it's I like writing too. But the digital pieces.
I mean, like the layout wise helps because it's all like different columns and stuff, and it automatically calculates the total for you.
Yeah. And so you can kind of like project, kind of like outcomes. If you're trying to achieve certain, short-term goals, long-term goals, you can see, how that can work for you. Like what Farugh shared last week, like the snowball, the additional 25%, you got the minimum, and then you got the, at the end. I've been thinking I got my notes too. I've been thinking about all of that stuff, and it's really good to have strategies. So that's another way. As strategies, because sometimes we find ourselves, sometimes a lot of people don't believe that you can achieve, like I don't make enough money,
Yes,
you
you do.
know. And I tell my son all the time, slow money is better than no money. And, I mean, it's really, it's one of those sayings that, it's cliche, but it really is true. I mean, it's like, I just was telling Moshe, he was here, and I'm like, no, just keep on working that job. Keep working that job. If you're trying to reach some goals, then you have, you know, make small steps, working towards that larger goal. Sometimes we want it immediately. And you probably can't see the end game immediately. But no, have the strategies and work your plan. That's it.
Yeah, a lot of times I think people get, I think they get lost in the amount, right? I think they get lost in the amount and they get lost in the numbers. And I think a lot of times if we shift our energy and say it's a behavior modification as opposed to how much we actually putting towards it, it's the behavior. So once you get used to that behavior and get used to that rhythm, when you make more, you can be able to contribute more.
Yes.
Right. But if you don't get into the rhythm of doing it, then you would never, when you get more, you're gonna spend more. Right. So so you gotta have a plan for your money. And so I appreciate the budget aspect of it. So y'all kicked two of the major components to wealth building. And saving is one, and budgeting is number two, and I guess I'll continue in that same order. Number three is the debt repayment, right? That's important because of the interest rate that you're paying on it. You're paying more than what you actually borrowed, right? And so the sooner you pay your debts off, the more you be able to invest, the more you be able to save, the more you be able to do everything else that you're able to do. But as long as you got that debt hanging around your neck, you would never be able to contribute as much as you could because you're paying a high 26 interest rate on a credit card. You're paying a high 30% rate on your payday loan, or you're paying, I mean, so you definitely want to get your debt down as soon as you possibly can. And that goes into the snowball effect that we was talking about last week. So I like the fact that we talking about savings and we talking about budgeting, and these are the things that you can do. These are your own individual, personal habits, or your personal habits that you can contribute to the larger collective once you find your tribe, right? And so you will be adding that component to the tribe and sharing those strategies with the tribe. So lock it in as your personal journey. Lock those habits in to where you are proficient enough to share that with your tribe when you become part of a collective. Good enough.
I had one more thing. Far as like budgeting wise, um, for anyone who has like bigger bills, like I don't know what everyone considers big. Um, so just as an example, like my phone bill is currently like monthly over $100. So instead of paying it all in one out of one paycheck, which might feel like a lot at the time, you could like cut that into half. So take, because people who get paid bi-weekly, depending on how you get paid twice within 1 month. So you could take half of the total amount out of one paycheck, and then take the other half out of the next paycheck before your phone bill. So that way you're only taking 60 to maybe $70 out of each paycheck instead of one big total sum out of the other. And it might take a lot of the mental stress from um just like spending wise, because you might feel like you're spending a lot more than you actually are, which was what I was going through until I started writing it down on paper. I felt like I was always spending money and I never had any actual money. And then when I wrote it down, I'm like, oh, so I am constantly spending money, but I do have more than I thought that I did. So writing it down does help, whether it's writing it down, typing it like Uncle Kamua said. But I would definitely suggest if you have any like bigger bills, definitely try to cut them in half or even smaller. Maybe you could, if you get paid weekly, take a small out of each paycheck. So then when that time comes around that you have to pay that bill, it's easier and less stressful to pay it. So that's just my personal take on that because it helps.
Excellent strategy.
All right, what's the next contribution, y'all? We're dealing with practicing economic self-love. So we have savings, we have budgeting, we got paying down debt. What else would you add to that?
I would say investment. You know, investment. I don't know if it falls in the same category of, you know, also, you know, having product. You know, having something that, you know, that you can earn additional income, you know, outside of work. So, you know, it might be a skill that you have to provide, you know, it might be, you know, you do hair, or you make, you know, body butters, or you know, performing music, you know, earning those additional monies, because I'm just say that come in handy.
Yeah.
No, I still got something for you, brother. You know.
And that's a great addition. That's a great addition. And I guess I'll take on since Neffy. Okay.
I'm back. Okay.
Well, so he added investment.
Oh, definitely. Definitely investments. But I would definitely suggest that you look into what you're investing prior to investing into it. Because if you invest into something that you don't know nothing about, you wouldn't know when to keep investing or when to pull out. So, definitely, I would definitely suggest that. I wanted to look into investing too. So, yeah.
Yeah, we have a conversation.
Definitely.
Because that's my thing now. I'm really into investing now. Because I'm in a space to where, like I said, my debt is down. So now I got some little bit more income to play with now as far as when investing. And like I said, you're doing your thing now, so I don't have to worry about as much money with you any longer. So it's like the extra money that I was pouring into you and things like that, I can now put into investing, making my money work for me. So I would definitely say my ultimate strategy is, when it comes to investing, is that whatever amount of money that I put into something else, I want to put that same amount of money into investing. Say if my phone bill is $90, I'm going to pay $90 towards that phone bill, and I'm going to put $90 into, you know, the carrier that I'm working with, right? So if I got $90 with T-Mobile, I'm gonna take that same additional $90 and put it into T-Mobile's stock. It makes sense, because if you're paying into your bill, for me, if you're paying into that bill, you're paying into that company, you might as well pay into yourself, right? And so if I'm spending $90 a month on T-Mobile, then I'm spending $90 a month owning T-Mobile's shares. That's my ultimate goal. I'm not there yet. So right now I'm in the 50, 30, 20 strategy. So 50 towards my living expenses, 30% of my monthly salary is going to be going towards investing, and 20% of it's for fun, whatever fun I decide to do. If I still have some of that fun money left over the following month, I'll put that into investing. Like right now I'm putting into that 20%, whatever I don't use the 20%, I'm putting into my debt consolidation now. So I'm trying to pour all my money into getting this debt out. Like I said, by this time next year,
I'm still in that joke, man. I'm still in that strategy.
Okay. So
whatever. Let me what? I'm not here yet.
I would definitely like to touch on that whole debt release thing, and I'm actually like, because I was actually looking into it after the last show, because you were saying that it took you had how much in debt?
I had $40,000 in debt.
And that you got rid of that in what, 4 years?
Yeah. Well, I'm at like I got maybe 8,000 left.
So yeah, about 4 or 5 years. That's insane.
Yeah.
So
how many years?
It'd be 5 years. I scheduled to say 40,000 in 5 years. So yeah, I'm about
5 years.
Yeah, so I'm about 8,000 away from it, and I'm about maybe about a year left. About a year left. So if I get that done, that's going to be a huge achievement on my part.
Because I was looking at the numbers. They said it could take people up to like 25 years to even get out of $20,000 debt.
Yeah.
So definitely wanted to give you a round of applause for that one, because this people take years, even a lifetime, to get out of that amount of debt. So it's definitely props to you, because that's a lot.
Yeah.
And only to do,
but see, that's the thing
that
too.
much in 5 years though. But I feel like a part of that would also be like the discipline part that we keep speaking on, because without that, I feel like it definitely would have took a lot longer.
And it's people paying the minimum. So a lot of times what people do, they pay the minimum. So if you're paying a minimum $20 a month, say you got like a $10,000 debt, and they say the minimum you could pay is a minimum of $20, and you pay your minimum every year. I mean, every month, it's going to take you 15, 20 years to pay that $10,000 back, because you're paying on interest. That $25 that you're paying a month, $10 of that $25 is going towards interest. Maybe $15 to $10 is going towards the principal, right? So when you look at it, and that's what I'm saying, we really have to, that's when this financial education, this financial literacy come into play, because then you understand the game. And once you understand the game, then you can say, you know what? I don't want to play this game no more. How do I get out of this game, right? And so that's what I did. I was like, man, this is bull. And that's what we were talking about last week too, when I was saying that if you're going to pay extra towards your mortgage, make sure that your extra goes towards the principal. Because they're not going to tell you that. They're going to say, oh, yeah, thank you for the extra money. We're going to put it towards you, whatever. They're going to put it towards your interest. And your principal will stay the same. But if you specifically tell them, I don't want this towards my principal, then your principal will come down, and then your interest rate will drop. And then your loan payment would drop, right? So everything would drop because your principal balance is lower. Because everything is based on your principal balance. Your interest rate is based on your principal balance. Your payment loan, your loan arrangement, all that stuff is based on your principal. But once your principal low is down, then it's like, oh shit. So we can't charge as much as interest. We can charge them as long as we want to, you know what I mean? So once you learn the game, and I pay a lot more than the minimum. So I paid the same method. I paid the minimum on all the other things, and then I thoroughly attack that one loan. And so yeah, man, I'm super excited. So that's that. So that's with the investment piece, and the side hustle part is so profound, because even like the side, like when you were saying I got something for you, I'm like, yo, let's hold that joint, because I'm going to take that money and I'm gonna pay my debt down. Everything extra is going towards the debt. So I might be done sooner than that if I can keep doing stuff like that, taking all the extra money, extra fund money in my fund account. If I take that money out there every month and put it towards my debt, I might be done sooner than this time next year. And so that all the extra money that I was paying before towards debt and bills and stuff like that, that's no longer existing. I could put all that into investing. I could put all that into savings. I could put that all into EFTs. I could put that all into the S&P 500. I could put all that stuff because it makes sense. It just makes sense because we got to do it, man. We got to do it because we paying rent. We're paying bills. So we're part of the capitalistic society. We must well just benefit from it as well, right? So, So all right. So that's my contribution.
Well, more on that.
I'm just adding on to that.
For more on that, and then more in depth and detail, you gotta go to last show.
Good point. Good plug. All right. So now we have what time check?
8:30.
Okay, good, perfect. So we have savings, we have budgeting, we have pay down debt, we got side hustle, and we got investing. Anything else y'all would like to add to the economic self-love blueprint? Yes.
Yeah, I'm about to say if you got anything.
Let's say life insurance.
Yeah.
Life insurance.
I knew there was one more, but I couldn't. I don't pay that yet, so y'all got that one. Y'all got that one. I ain't paying that yet.
But then you know what the crazy thing about it? It's never too early to start.
The sooner you start,
the better. The sooner you start as far as investing, look. Talk about the insurance.
Yeah,
I got some numbers for you.
Y'all can talk. I'm gonna listen about the insurance. I just can't really speak on it because I don't pay it. So I'm gonna let y'all talk. I'm gonna let y'all talk, and I'm gonna receive it. And then, Dad, whatever you got planned, all right. I'm gonna let you get that.
I would say even for someone your age, nephew, and you're working, right? If you begin to start thinking about life insurance, that is another form of savings, investing, and source of money. It's a source of money for you, And I remember the show that me and your father did a year ago, and he brought someone on these were insurance professionals, and they broke down, term life and whole life insurance, and the benefits of whole life insurance. And but yeah, just first of all, just have an insurance policy, because you can alleviate and empower your family in that way. You can, what better way in which you can cement who you were through additional monies that can appreciate, others can benefit from, in your, the wake of you, leaving this place. So, yeah, I think that, and I'll say this, that I've definitely seen my share in my own family, people who made transitions and family scramble, because at the end of the day, like, it's hurtful losing a loved one. But then, on top of that, really struggle to find just a ceremony, finding how we are going to, what are we going to do? How are we going to get them from the morgue? How are we going to bury them? How are we going to cremate them? How are we going to, memorialize them? These things are, and when we talk about, our self-wealth, I know I set aside personally, and I think about this, I set aside $10,000 for, and I'm not like, I want to have a big celebration. I want to leave this place how I enjoyed, I want to have a celebration, and I want people to get paid. I want it to be just like it was when I was here. Plenty of food and, music and celebration and, all of those things. In a week, I want, in my absence, I want my presence to be that much significant. Furthermore, I want to be able to, of course, I have family, and I want them to be able to be empowered, so, that's it.
All right, so I got excited about that because we was talking about, I was just having a discussion about millionaires, like becoming a millionaire, right? Mm-hmm. And so we was going, huh?
So you've been talking about that for a minute.
Yeah, but just when you're dealing with when it's it's different when you're talking about it, and it's like a long-term goal. Like it's a long-term goal, and you really don't believe it's going to happen, right? It's like I'm so far behind in a loop. But it's different talking about it when you are close, sir, to it, and you actually see it being a reality. So it's a different excitement. It's a different kind of juice that's in it now, because I can see the possibility now, right? Where before I was talking about before, it was very vague. It was very vague. It was just like, yes, the millionaire, that's my goal. I would like to become a millionaire, blah, blah, blah. And now I divide, me in a collective had came up with a strategy to make it possible. And I'm taking step by step to take it, make it possible. So right now I'm in the second step of a 7-step phase of becoming a millionaire by the time I'm 60, 65, right? So when you see my goal, that's the long-term goal. The long-term goal is to be a cash millionaire by the time I'm 65, right? But if I focus hard and going hard like I'm going now, if I maintain this pace and this velocity, I can be there at 57. And that's what my current income, that's what the current income I've got now. That's not even if I add additional income to it, which I'm planning on adding additional income to it. So it's going to expedite whatever the process is. I can even do it as early as 55.
That's in the next 4 years.
And I can see the plan. I can see the plan finally unfolding. So I'm super excited and super amped about it now, because I can see it coming to pass. Where before I was having this conversation, I was just like, yeah, I would like to be a millionaire. That would be nice. Yeah, I mean, but now I'm like, yo, I got goals. I got like, by 65 I can make this happen. This is what I could do by 65 to make this happen. Oh shit, this is possible, right? And so by me going by those numbers, here's some numbers for you. All right, so to be I got the wrong numbers. Damn. Okay, I got the wrong numbers. All right, so damn, I got the wrong numbers. So I'm gonna keep talking. I'm gonna see if I can find the right numbers. But they say the earlier you start, the less it takes for it to happen because of the compound interest, right? And so I'm thinking about you, and you, I think they say with a person at 25 to have a net worth of $1.5 million by the time they are 65, all they have to do is put away like $128 a month.
Oh, that's easy.
Right. So it was something. it was something like that, right? And you put that in the S&P 500, and they say by the time you're 65, you will be worth $1.5 million by the time you retire, with $128 a month. Like somebody like myself at 50, to be able to do that, I had to put away $1,400 a month.
That's a big difference.
It's a huge difference, right? But it's doable, right? It's doable. Really hard when you got rent and all these other things in place, but it's doable. So that's what gets me excited, because it's doable. But I'm telling you, the earlier you can start. So say if you start now, will it be like $60 a month? You'll start putting away now and put it into an S&P. You know what? That's what I'm going to do for your birthday. I'm going to open you up an S&P 500 account, and you can just start adding to that, and we're both adding to that. That's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. And it's on camera, so it's documented, so you can hold me to it. But yeah, I think that'd be a great project for us, right? So it's like S&P. I like S&P 500 because S&P 500 got the top 500 companies in the world, that you will have ownership in, right? And so, or you can, that's just be the easiest, because then you can just drop the money and it just works itself. So you have the top CEOs, the top 500 CEOs on the planet working for your behalf, working on your benefit. It gets no better than that. Right? And all you got to do is drop the money into the account. Right? Because what I do, I got the S&P 500 myself, but what I also like doing is individual stocks. I like doing individual stocks because I like personalizing my stuff, because it's like, if I shop at Walmart, I like Walmart stock. I'm shopping there. I'm spending money there, right? Everybody I know goes there, right? So I'm getting a piece of that money every fucking month, right? So Amazon, I'm getting a piece of that money every month. Apple, I'm getting a piece of that money every month, because I spend money there. Millions of people spend money there. So everybody who spend money there, I get a piece of. That's just smart business, right? So I like the individual stocks because that just makes sense to me. They say invest in what you know. I know Apple. I know Walmart. I know Amazon, right? So it's like, I know Nike. I love Nike, right? So, and I know it's like capitalism, and I know some people might frown upon this shit, but it's like, it's about, we are in this system. So we participate in it anyway. And I can't make it no more clearer than that, right? So why not benefit? Everybody else benefits from it. Everybody else benefits from it. So why shouldn't we? So I wish I had those numbers. Next week, and I know next month is a different month, but I'm gonna find those numbers, because the numbers is staggering, right? The amount of money that you gotta pay once you get like they got the 25, they got 35, they got 45, they got 55, they got 65. And when you get to 65 and trying to invest and trying to retire by 75, it's like you gotta invest like $14,000 a month to become $1.5 million, to get to $1.5 million by the time you're 75. I just wanted to show you the big difference in, if you start early and have compound interest working on your behalf, how beneficial it is to just get started earlier. And so I would definitely have those numbers next week. Next time we on, because we're not on a weekly basis anymore. So we're gonna continue the numbers. I just want to share those numbers with y'all. And so, yeah, man, this was good. This was good. I hope people got something from it. Again, the self-love economic self-love economic plan is as such: savings, budgeting, pay down your debt, side hustle. Make sure you have a side hustle to bring in extra money. Invest in what you know, and life insurance. And there's many things many things you can add to it. I think those are the foundation, though. And I think if you do these things, and these things are doable, you could do those things tomorrow, right? And so, and like I said, it doesn't matter the amount. It matters more of the habits that you're developing, the behaviors, modifications that you're setting in. It matters your intention. And so, yeah, y'all. So let's get to it, y'all. Let's build on this Black wealth culture. And if you want more insight or to expand the conversation, go to our social media outlets. Go to Urban Shamans and just say, you know what? I heard y'all on the show. Where can we build on it more? And so you're join African Independence Day or whatever else projects that we're involved in. We all touch on finances. We touch on all that stuff anyway. So yes, Neff.
Y'all can keep talking.
She raised her hand like she had something like juicy to drop. All right, so.
Oh, okay. No, because I didn't know like how close would it be? Okay, so this would be, in order, I would have to say this now because the next time we would be on would be after that. But you're going to the thing on the 6th, right?
Huh?
Me,
Both of y'all.
I plan to. I definitely plan. It's so many things that's just come up, but yeah, yes, I plan to.
Yeah. Okay. So I texted Sandy to see if I'll be able to come off anyway. But October 6th, Uncle Kamil would have more information about it. But October 6th, we will be at Malcolm X Park, helping giving out meals to the homeless people. So homeless people at Malcolm X Park. If y'all would like to volunteer or contribute in any way, my Uncle Kamal would have more information about that. But yeah, definitely come through, support. Yeah, I probably should have saved that for closing remarks, but I was probably gonna forget, so I had to say it now. But yeah, that's I just wanted to put that out there.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, we will be participating with community partners who reached out to us and informed us, and we've been that they will be having a community feed the homeless event in Malcolm X Park. So if you come through. I think I got a bag of clothes that I want to give out. So to contribute to that. So yeah, I'll be doing that.
And that's what we do, man. We do work like that all the time. And so join a community, man. Like again, I always say that many hands make light work. So the more of us that's doing it, the more impact we can have, and the more people we can help. You know what I'm saying? So let's do it, man. Let's do it. So we are slowly coming to the end of this exchange, which was a beautiful exchange, and I really appreciate your input. Any closing remarks?
As normal, we will be participating in the Saturday Night Vibe this Saturday at the Black Lotus Holistic Health Collective. Come out and be a part of that healing, something that we've been doing for over a year, and it is what we've been doing as Urban Shamans for about 20 years now. This is the source of which, one of the sources that drives us. And to find out more about that, you can hit us up at urban_shamans on Instagram.
Neff.
My closing remarks would be just try to be more mindful of what you're spending and how you're spending, and because in the end it'll be a lot less stressful, because that is also one of the leading causes to health conditions and other very detrimental issues. So yeah, definitely, if you have your own methods and they work great for you, then that's great. If you would like to take some of our methods and see if they work for you as well, to add on to that or to even start, I would definitely advise you doing that. So yeah, if you guys have any more questions personally about getting out of debt or budgeting or saving or whatever the case may be, you definitely contact one of us or contact my dad, and my dad will tell me, or whatever the case may be. But yeah, we're not just here in the show, we're also here to help outside of it. So
yeah, so we are not I'm gonna speak for myself. I am not a professional finance person. I would suggest that you go to a personal tax person or whatever the case may be, financial planner or whatever the case may be. We are just simply sharing with things that work for us. And you know, we are just common folk, you know, that did some research and did some education, took some classes and things like that. And these strategies works for us. And I feel obligated, and I feel like it's my duty to share these things with my people, right? At no cost, right? So everybody's trying to come up and everybody's trying to, you know, come up all for our people. And it shouldn't be always about that, right? And I feel like even though I paid for these lessons and I paid for these things, but it's not mine to make money off of. It's not mine to make profit off of, right? And so if I truly love my people, then I'm going to share these things, right? And yeah, like I said, I feel like it's an obligation and a duty to share these things with you. And these are just my experiences, right? So take it for what it's worth, right? Take it for what it's worth. But I know I feel better about myself. I look at my banking account and I like what I'm seeing in my banking account. I look at my portfolio and I like in the direction that my portfolio is going. And so, you know, I just want to share that with y'all. And so that's all. But my final words is this. My final comment is this. No matter what your financial situation is, no matter what your situation is, if you woke up this morning, period, that's God's way of showing you your best is yet to come. Right? You still in the game. You still got some work to do. And God is not done with you yet. And so no matter what your situation is, no matter what you're waking up to, no matter what it is, I don't care what it is. If you woke up, that means your best is yet to come. And you should know that. And the fact that the value that you put in is more than the value that you leave. Right? And so in that, I'm saying that be present, right? Share your lessons, share your life story with the people that you love. That means more to them than what you're going to leave behind when you pass, right? So don't work so much because you want to leave them the bag when you pass, but they don't know who you are. When you didn't share those life lessons with your loved ones, you didn't share those moments with your loved ones. Be present, right? Don't let the bag take the place of you, because they would never take the place of you, right? And I just want, especially our men, to embrace that. A lot of times we work hard because we want to leave our family financially well off, and that's important. But it's not more important because they're not going to talk about what you left them when you make transition. They're going to talk about the stories when you made them laugh. They're going to talk about the stories when you cussed them out, or the fond memories. They're going to talk about the things that you did while you in the moment, while you was alive. They're not going to talk about the money that you left. That's not that important. And so just think about that. Just think about the value that you put in is more than the value that you leave behind. And that's it. I love y'all. And if you found value in this program, you ain't got to get nothing, man. We rich. Yeah, I mean, it'd be nice if you contribute, whatever the case may be, but your attention and your support means more to me than anything else. So thank you for your time and your attention and your contributions. So if you have any show ideas or topics or resources to assist us on this mission of empowerment, or want to keep the conversation going and growing, please put your input into this collective empowerment by following Be My Inc. on all social media outlets. Follow Urban Shamans _ right?
Yeah, Urban _ Shamans.
And Goddess.
Yeah, Goddesses Crown Products. It's on Instagram under Goddesses _Crown. It should have my name on there. It's Nefertiti.
Okay. Oh, dope. So, like I said, if you found, if you like this program and value this program, there's other programs like this that's on this platform, and they can also use your support. And I think Knowledge Born is also doing a campaign. Knowledge Born allow a Cash App, and I think he's on to where he can show you other ways to support him.
We still calling down. Celebrating 50 years of hip hop. Support the God Knowledge Born. Student Knowledge Radio. 8 years. The knowledge is accumulation of all facts. People the gods of earth.
Yes, sir. The producer extraordinaire. Support the brother. He's doing great work. I support him and I love him, man. I appreciate this platform. And hopefully you got some value out of this program today. Yeah, this is dope. This was dope. Again, I'd like to thank y'all for y'all contribution and you sharing your personal stories and strategies and things like that. And it's all about empowering our people, man. We love our people and we want to empower our people. So with that, we'll see you on the next show. Peace and love, family.
Yeah. Hotter than the friction of Birdman rubbing hands when dry. I'm too fly, snap with force of rubber bands. Used to roll my bills with the drop on my promo. Get heard and spread the word so everybody know that. Key beat to rap, what key beat to lock is. Walking through the door is my time like the clock gives. Been through the hailstorm, fire and the rain too. Disappointed by a lot of ops that never came through. Folk riding coattails, dragging shit would drain you. Wanna get me out my lowest, show you what my lane to do. My drive's like Danica, I burn it on the track and proceed to kill him soft with the soul of Roberta Flack. Always knew I do it big even with my short stature. Cause when it comes to bars, they huge as a linebacker. All this talk about who the best is non-factor. Cause I'ma have minds like digging for coal in Africa. Shine like diamonds, no conflict, it's harmony. Rapping with my queens like 11-4-33. Key beat to rap, what key beat to lock is. Word to the reverb, it's slick, I'm about to rock this. Walking through the door is my time like the clock gives. Feel no pressure, I'm just here to give you dopeness. I'm my own competition, used to fret that I would have some. I'm focused on making my tracks better than the last one. It's me on production, consider myself a novice, but won't stop taking a crack at it like it's crawfish. Can't say it sucked though, my chop game Michelin. 5-star season, saute bitch, I'm sizzling. Hear me loud and clear, got no plans on fizzling. I spit the monsoon, never satisfied with drizzling. Key beat to rap, what key beat to lock is. Word to the reverb, it's slick, I'm about to rock this. Walking through the door, it's my time like the clock gives. Feel no pressure, I'm just here to give you dope. Key beat to
Yeah. Now we gonna tell them. Night in front. We tell them like this, yo. I'm an African. I'm a African. I'm an African. I'm a African. Yeah, y'all like that? No more. This man's mind is open. I'm an African. I'm a African. I'm an African. I'm a. Let's get back to the
motive is best developed by recognizing the common enemy.